and from Florida to find out my reasons on rock and roll music and why I preach against it, and I believe with all of my heart that it is a contributing factor to our juvenile delinquency of today. I 100% believe it. Why I believe that is because I know how it feels when you sing it. I know what it does to you. And I know the evil feeling that you feel when you sing it. I know the lost position that you get into in the beat. Well, if you talk to the average teenager of today and you ask them what it is about rock and roll music that they like, and the first thing they'll say is the beat, the beat, the beat.
Okay, welcome to God Knows Where. On Raglan Road, on an autumn day, I saw her the first time anew. That her dark hair would weave a little snare that I would one day rue. I saw the dangers and still I walked along the enchanted way. And I said, let grief be a fallen leaf at the dawning of the day. Now on Grafton Street in November, we tripped lightly, so lightly along the ledge of a deep ravine where can be seen the true worth of passion's pledged. The Queen of Hearts still baking her tarts, and I wasn't making any hay. And I said too much by such. That's happiness all blown away. I gave her the gifts of the mind. Oh, I gave her the secret sign that's known to the artist who has known the true gods of sound and stone. With word and tint, you know, I did not stint. I gave her reams and reams of poems to say, with her own name there and her shining dark hair that's hung like clouds over fields of May. On a quiet street where the old ghosts they meet, you know, I see her walking now. Lord, away from me so hurriedly, my reason must allow that I have wooed not as I should a creature that was born of clay. When the angel woos the clay, he'll lose his wings at the dawn of the day. Yeah, when the angel woos, oh, the clay, he'll lose his wings at the dawn of the day. Yeah. Well, that was a song and a half. Patrick Kavanagh.
But they're only lads, they're only schoolboys.
Oh, they're terrific.
Now, what time did you take up your position here today?
About 1:15.
Yeah. And what is it about these fellas that brings you out at that hour of the day?
Oh no, they're just gorgeous.
They're what?
They're gorgeous.
Well, now, be a bit more explicit. I mean, what is it? Is it the singing or the hair or what?
The singing and the hair and the jacket.
What about you?
I don't like them.
You do? Well, thank
No.
goodness for that. Well, what are you doing here?
We're getting tickets for next week for Helen Shapiro.
Oh. Very good. And that's it. Whatever it is. My sympathy.
Now, Jesse James, you understand, killed many a man. He robbed the Glendale train. He robbed from the rich, he gave his money to the poor. He had a heart and a hand and a brain. Ah, but Jessie had a wife, she cried all her life. Children, they were brave, but history will record that no good Charlie Ford, he went and laid Jesse James in his grave. It was on a Saturday night, as the stars were shining bright. They robbed the northbound train, and the people they did sail, Lord, for many miles away. It was those outlaws, young Frank and Jesse James. Oh, poor Jessie had a wife, and she cried all of her life. His children, they were brave, but history will record that no good Charlie Ford, he went and he laid Jesse James in his grave. Now Bob and Charlie Ford, they took money in account. Well, I wonder how those bastards they feel, for they ate Jesse's bread, Lord, they slept in Jesse's bed, and they laid Jesse James in his grave. Oh, poor Jessie had a wife, she cried all of her life. Children, they were brave, but history will record well, no good Charlie Ford, he went and he laid poor Jesse James in his grave. Now Jesse went to rest with his guns across his chest, the devil riding shotgun on his knee. Oh, Jesse, he once said, don't you mourn, mourn for me, when they lay me down in my grave. Oh, poor Jesse had a wife, and she cried all of her life. His children, they were strong, they were brave. Ah, but history will record that no good Charlie Ford, he laid Jesse James in his grave. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There you go. Woodstock was never like this.
They don't ask me. Those other two people don't ask me. Why do you? Why shouldn't you give it? Why shouldn't you give it?
We come out to see it for.
They like me. They said.
We don't like Jenny
You
Moore.
call me a bum.
That's all you want.
Well, may I have your autograph?
You call me from you find
You
out.
call me a bum. Come on, bro. Come on. You don't need my autograph. If you needed it, I'd give it to you.
Just give it your autograph, will you?
What's wrong with you today?
Days in Doolin. 1970 something. So long ago I can't remember. Days in Doolin, trickin' and foolin', that was a time all right. Young for a day, then it's taken away. I wish I was back there tonight. Oh, pretty Susan, the girl of my choosing, she's still young in my memory. Mine for a spell, it's just as well that she found someone better than me. Banjo strings and mandolins and music all day long. Days without care on the west coast of Clare. Won't you sing me another sweet song? There by the coast we'd raise a toast and we'd sing the night away. Music mad, it was all that we had. Take out the fiddle and play. Oh, the rain's coming in from the west coast again. It'll wash our tent out to sea. Let the music play, we'll spend the day drinking in fine company. Oh, banjo strings and mandolins and music all day long. Days without on the west coast of Clare. Won't you sing me another sweet song? Banjo strings and mandolins and music all day long. Oh, days without care on the west coast of Clare. Won't you sing me another sweet song? Some are gone, some are moved on. Summers and winters have passed. But I'm here today, I'm still blazing away. But I don't know how long I will last. Oh, Susan, she left. For a while there I wept. She found someone better than me. Hey, this song's for Susan, the girl of my choosing, still young in my memory. Oh, banjo strings and mandolins and music all day long. Oh, days without care on the west coast of Clare. Won't you sing me another sweet song? Oh, banjo strings and mandolins and music all day long. Days without care on the west coast of Clare. Sing me another sweet song. Oh, yeah. Thank you very much.
It came down from generation to generation.
That's right, yes, generation to generation, yeah.
On what occasions do you play it usually?
Christenings, wakes, now and again if they had enough put in them. Often great dances at wakes too. They'd have a quarter cask or a half barrel of porter taken in, and tea, snuff, tobacco.
Yes.
And they'd have great galley. They aren't dying half quick enough.
Amsterdam is calling me, no matter where I am. I'm going back to Amsterdam. I'm walking down the Roken. I'm as free as a breeze. See, Amsterdam is the city, and it aims to please. And it's always with me now, no matter where I am. I'm going back to Amsterdam. Walking down the Dam Rack, up to Old Dam Square. Lots of pretty people there. There's a magic in the air. And it's always with me now, no matter where I am. I'm taking the next train. I'm taking the next plane. I'm going back to Amsterdam. Yeah, Amsterdam. Going back to Amsterdam. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Amsterdam. Da dee da dee. Da 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 dee. I'm going back to Amsterdam. That was a shortened version of a longer song. Yeah, what a great day it is out here in the middle of the great county Kildare. Look what lockdown has done to us. Yeah. It's a song called The Banks of the Ohio. I put it up there with the old brown jug and I asked my love, come and take a walk. Take a walk, just a little walk, down, down, down beside where the waters they flow, down by the banks of the Ohio, and only say that you be mine, and in no other's arms entwined, down beside where the waters flow, down by the banks of the Ohio. Well, I held my knife up against her breast, and into my jealous arms she pressed. She cried, now Billy, oh please Billy, don't you murder me. I ain't prepared for this eternity, and only say that you be mine, and in no other's arms entwined, down beside where the waters they flow, down by the banks of the Ohio. When I got home between 12 and 1, and I cried, oh Lord, what have I done? I killed the only girl that I will ever love, because she would not be my little turtle dove, and only say that you be mine, and in no other's loving arms entwined, down beside where the waters they flow, down by the banks of the Ohio, down by the banks of the Ohio.
As Planxty stood there hungry. I stood there whistling. I shout, "What did he whistle?" "This land is made for you and me." And right after it was a great high wall there that tried to stop me. There was a great big sign there, said private property. Isn't that wonderful rhyme? Stop me with property. But on the other side, it didn't say nothing. That side was made for you and me.
This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. Come on. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Said, this land is made for you and me. As I was walking that ribbon of highway, what I saw right above me, God's ancient skyway. I saw around me a voice was sounding, saying that this land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the redwood forest down to the Gulf Stream waters. This land, it was made for you and me. Blue moon of Kentucky, won't you keep on shining? Shine on the one that's gone and left me blue. I say, blue, blue moon of Kentucky, won't you keep on shining? Shine on the one that's gone and proved untrue. Well, it was on a moonlight night as the stars were shining bright. Man, she whispered from on high, then she's gone, she said goodbye. Hey, blue moon of Kentucky, keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gone and proved untrue. Blue moon of Kentucky, won't you keep on shining? Shine on the one that's gone and made me blue. Blue moon of Kentucky, keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gone and proved untrue. And that's how you do it. That's how you make mistakes.
What I'm trying to do is forget about folk music for a while, you know. I remember asking somebody one time about folk music and why did he do it, and he said he did it for the money. And then it became a terribly serious business, Archie. Yeah. Much different to what it was a few years ago. I don't mind folk music. I mean, if it's in the hands of people like Henderson or Wojak or Burns or Eric Bogle, folk music it can be a fine thing. But then in the hands of lesser people, it can literally be a haven for cultural illiteracy. Alexander Fletcher said, he was another Scot, he said one time, he said, let me make a nation's ballads, and I care not who makes its laws. Christ, I wouldn't like to live under some of the songs of Ewan McCall or Bob Dylan.
Foley went into Furay's bar, a turn at 12 o'clock. Tuned up his 6-string guitar, he said, I think it's time to rock. Some he left wanting more, and more he left crying. When he sang a song, it was his last song. We all got our own way of dying. Foley's time was running out. There was nothing that he could do. He singer said, I'll never forget, and everybody knew that the music was in his veins and there was no denying. Foley played with a razor blade. We all got our own way of dying. And the crowd down at Fury's bar, they were drinking hard, they were crying, they were singing a song, won't you sing along? We all got our own way of dying. Well, Foley never set foot again inside of Fury's bar. But on the wall right next to the stage hangs Foley's old guitar. Some said that Foley's dead. Hey, well, he died anyway. The angels, he went flying. Crowd down at Fury's bar, they were drinking hard and crying. They were singing a song, come on and sing along. We all got our own way of dying. Yes, the crowd down at Fury's bar, they were crying. They were singing a song, won't you sing along? We all got our own way of dying. Yeah, the crowd down at Fury's bar, they were drinking and crying, singing a song I'll never forget. We all got our own way of dying. Yeah, we do. How the fuck did I do that? I write stones there. It was a time of suspicion where lives were sworn away. His hands were tied, his long coat gone, but I swear I knew his stare as I gazed once again upon the man from God knows where. They watched him in their hundreds as on the scaffold high. The man with eyes like silk on steel prepared his soul to fly. Freedom was the word he spoke, and I heard it loud and clear as he fell into eternity, the man from God knows where. In the darkest hour and in time